hello, beautiful soul. Happy day to you. This week brought me a baby crow to raise. I'd like to introduce Robinson to you. I love crows. They are beautiful, intelligent birds. I have raised many wild animals through my life. Crows, jays, starlings, sparrows, and many mammals, and I love helping them get stronger and go back to their natural habitat. I always felt that if the Creator puts them on my path, I was meant to help them. And I can tell you, it is always a time-intensive task and takes true commitment. So I take my job very seriously. My wild guests always seem very aware of their potential and eventually follow their innate purpose. And when the time to create a family arrives, they leave. Sometimes returning just to visit for a while and get a little treat, or sticking around with a new mate for a while longer, but always being free. There is nothing like freedom. And that takes me to the focus of this video today. So tell me, beautiful soul, are you free? Freedom is so much more than not being a brick and mortar correction facility. Addictions keep you prisoner, your job can keep you prisoner, and even inherited core values can at times keep you trapped. For example, feeling that you have to do something versus wanting to do something. I love my son, and I wish he was still living with me, and I would love to see him every day. But I don't like to keep anybody hostage, and I always tell him that, of course, I want to see him anytime, but I want him to come to see me when he wants to see me, not when he thinks that he should come to see me. To remind him to stay in touch with his true feelings, be in his heart instead of always in his head. But ultimately, are your paradigms that keep you handcuffed. The negative conditioning of the restricting thoughts that are most often in your head are your ball and chain. They become your room temperature, your thermostat, that will bring you back to the temperature you are familiar with, even if you wish for more. Setting perceived limits when there are no real limits. You're probably familiar with the fleas and jar story. Fleas are placed in a jar and are jumping everywhere, even out of the jar. Once the lid is placed on the jar, the fleas repeatedly jump against it, but eventually they learn to jump lower to avoid hitting it. After a certain period of time, the lid is removed. The fleas continue to jump at the same lower height, even though they are now free to jump higher and could potentially escape from the jar. We all can become conditioned to certain limitation or belief based on past experiences, even when these limitations are no longer applicable, continuing to act within self-imposed limits, often not realizing that there are no real constraints. Our leaders may they be our parents, teachers, doctors, managers, or significant others, can unintentionally create a culture of fear or conventionality or codependency, limiting our creativity and innovation and our power to expand. When this happens, we might feel the pressure to conform to a certain way of thinking or acting, lacking the capacity to see better approaches to opportunities or believing in our intrinsic power. Well, may this story remind you to challenge your limiting beliefs and assumptions and help you recognize that your true potential is greater than what you currently believe. Great work, Dream Builder. Have a wonderful week. Discover your authentic power and be the change. See you soon.